Alright, so Bill McCleskey again. The name of my company is Mitech Partners. And again, we're a telecom firm, so we only do three things. Business, you guys weren't listening, internet, phone, and TV. So we do three things. Business,
Internet, phone, TV.
That's it. Okay? That's all we do. So, typically, you know, when somebody says, Mitech, you guys are a technology company. Well, no, we're a telecom firm. So we offer those telecom services. And we represent about 30 different companies. So when you think about a telecom firm, you may think of, you guys give me some telecom companies you know out there. Charter, okay. AT&T,
Right.
yeah. Comcast. So we'll stop right there because there's a ton of them, right? But those are the big ones, like AT&T, Comcast, Charter. What my company does is we focus on the cable providers. Initially, cable providers only provided TV service. But now, of course, you know, they provide phone service and internet, obviously, as well. So the reason we focus on cable providers is because they offer the fastest internet speeds, okay? So I'm going to go into that a little bit. But two of our main carriers that we represent are Comcast Business and Charter Business. Now, if you guys didn't know this, there can only be one cable provider per market or per footprint. So, for example, up here in Clarksville, Charter is the cable provider. Comcast isn't up here. Can't be. By law, legally, there can only be one cable provider. In Nashville, where I live, Comcast is the cable provider. You go up to Cincinnati, Ohio, where I've got a few customers. Time Warner is the cable provider up there. So, again, there can only be one cable provider per footprint. So that's pretty cool. When I go to a different market, I'm only representing one company. Now let's talk about cable providers versus the phone companies. So, cable providers, Comcast, Charter, and Time Warner, right? Phone companies would be AT&T. What's another phone company? Verizon. South is AT&T. Verizon. You guys
Singular.
heard of Birch?
Oh, Lord, yes.
Birch Communications. And you got Windstream. Anybody ever heard of Windstream?
Yes.
Okay. So those are phone providers. They don't provide TV service, but they do provide phone service and internet service through a phone line, just like AT&T. What's unique about these companies, Earthlink is another one you may have heard of. What's unique about them is most of them are resellers of AT&T, which means they're using AT&T's network, and they just basically bought it wholesale, and they rebranded it to Birch or Windstream or Earthlink. So they're using AT&T's service. I mean, it's pretty interesting. Because I had a customer a few months ago, you know, he had Birch Communications, and he said he had an issue, called the tech, AT&T truck showed up. He said, I don't have AT&T. I said, yeah, but you really do. Okay? You just don't know it, okay? So let's get into the details of why I focus on cable companies. You can't see this, but I'll kind of try to make it plain for you. AT&T, when they offer internet, they're going to give you a speed through a phone line, and they're going to start the speed at about 1.5 meg. They can go up to 6 meg. AT&T can go up to 6 meg, which means Windstream or Birch or whoever's using their network, they can go up to 6 meg speed. Comcast starts at 16 meg, almost 3 times faster than the fastest speed for a phone company. Charter starts at 30 meg. I mean, let's look at the price difference. A 6 meg with AT&T or Windstream is going to run you anywhere from $70 to $100. 6 meg. A 16 meg with Comcast costs $60. 30 meg with Charter costs $55. Isn't that crazy? It's ridiculous. So this is why I focus on the cable providers, because if you've ever heard anybody in their office complain about internet speed, oh, my internet's slow, oh, it's down, oh, you know, Betsy works in the credit card industry, so, you know, processing credit cards through a phone line, so you may run into customers that have issues doing that, and we hook them up with, they can run it through cable internet much quicker. So that's seriously beneficial. So just to keep it simple, Comcast Business or Charter Business, fast, AT&T slow. That's all you got to remember. Now, I can provide service to customers all across the country. I've got customers in California to Delaware. I just signed up a guy in Miami last week. And I work diligently in Middle Tennessee, but those lead to opportunities all over the place. You're dealing with multi-location companies and things like that. So keep that in mind as well. And who was that guy right there?
Woo!
Is
Good
that
looking.
a younger Bill? I can't see that far.
It says, "Who is Bill Lee?" I came out with a CD like 10 years ago. I was a singer. I went on tour for like a year and a half with a musical theater group. I know you're asking, how does this relate? It does.
He sings for fast.
The name of the CD was called "Who is Bill Lee?" And my middle name is Lee, by the way. I just had to tell Betsy that earlier. But who is Bill Lee now? 10 years later, okay? I am not on tour. This is Bill Lee now, Mitech partners. So these are some of the companies that I represent, like we went over: Comcast Business, Charter, Time Warner, DirecTV. In a lot of rural areas, cable providers will not service. Okay?
Thank you very much. Yes.
So, we represent DirecTV for businesses, XO is another telecom company, TW Telecom, UNSI. And these are some of my customers. Lenny's Sub Shop, Franklin Synergy Bank, Comfort Inn. Hotels are big tickets for me. It's just a bigger revenue, for me. HCA is my largest customer down in Nashville. A lot of Subways, Northwestern Mutual, Prime Lending. So I work with small mom and pop customers that may only have one phone line and internet, and then I may work with an HCA that has multiple phone lines or internet connections for their corporate offices in Nashville. Now, I want to go over really what are some great opportunities for me. Great leads for me are, if you're driving down the street and you see something like this, you may not be able to see it, but it says pizzeria opening soon. You see a banner or on a marquee that says opening soon. It's a great lead for me. I mean, there have been times where I've been driving down the street and I see something coming up. I pull in, the painter's in there painting. I say, "Hey, who runs the shop? When are you guys opening?" We open in about 2 weeks. They give me the owner's number and I sign them up that day. Because the owner's just been procrastinating about it. "Oh, no, I got to do it, blah, blah, blah." So those are great leads for me. I mean, even if you don't know the owner or have a contact there, great opportunity. Other great opportunities for me are IT companies, like these guys here. Forefront.
Hey, Todd!
Tech guy. He's a great opportunity.
I was not a singer.
We all have our past lives. But because these guys go in and they do the cabling or they do the phone systems and things like that, and they find opportunities right away to either increase their customers' speeds for internet, and their customers going to trust them because they're the IT guy. So I have a lot of IT guys that I work with that run into opportunities like that, and our company can pay them. So it's another revenue stream for the IT company or the IT individual. So that's pretty much all I got. I try to keep it simple, and that's why I always tell people we do 3 things. And that's business,
Internet, phone, TV.
All right. And I just got some new business cards, so I'm going to pass them around. And if you guys got any questions, feel free to holler at me.
Super cool.